Hello everyone and welcome back to the Integrity Botanicals YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing and swatching and demoing the brand new Fitglow multi-use pressed colors. Now, if you know nothing about this launch, they have released 12 new powder products that are versatile. They're designed to be used on the cheeks, eyes, brows, wherever exactly your imagination takes you. And they've curated a beautiful line of 12 different shades that really are good about doing a little bit of everything. Now, as I go through this line, you're definitely going to notice that some of these colors, they have their more strict intended purpose, just a little bit more difficult to get creative with, but nonetheless they are a really high quality powder formula. I am very familiar with the Fitglow powder formula from using it over the years in their limited edition palettes and things like that, and I can say if you're a fan of that formula, I think that you will be an enormous fan of this one as well. So like always, they have skincare benefiting ingredients in here. So there is squalane and cloudberry seed oil, both incredibly moisturizing, which I think when we're using it on large surfaces of the face or the very delicate eye area, that is a really nice added bonus. We get 12 different shades in this lineup and they do retail for $28 a piece. So packaging wise, when you buy them individually, they're going to come in this little cardboard sleeve. They are yellowy, like a really pale yellow. The shade name is going to be on the back so you can identify it. And then there is a little pull tab, very similar to a lot of their other products, where that is going to live. Now you will see there's a little spot where you could kind of poke the product out should you need, because there is a different option. You can also purchase this incredible refillable palette. This retails for $20. It holds 4 different shades, so you do purchase it empty. Then the powders you will purchase separately. But this is entirely made from recycled plastic bottles, which I think is incredible. It's thin, it's got a good mirror, it's not too chunky, a perfect everyday option that'll hold 4 different shades, where seriously, I basically completed my eye look with everything that I have put in this 4-pan palette right here. So that's a really nice addition as well, because if you are familiar, just to compare quickly before we dive in, Fitglow releases these type of products periodically, or it'll be 3 blushes or something like that. These are significantly smaller and the blush is significantly bigger. So I'll hold it up here just for scale. So you won't be able to mix and match as far as this is concerned, but you can see you were getting such a nice generous size with these. I don't see you using it anytime soon. So, but I think the 4 grams is a really nice, healthy amount of size, and it does allow the pan to be large enough should you want to put in like a bigger face brush and use it on your cheeks. It's not too tiny, if you know what I mean. So let's dive right into these colors, shall we? And I will mention the ones that I've used here on my eyes today to create the eye look that I am wearing. So, and I've also used it on my cheeks, so there is also that. I do want to preface that natural shadows or natural powders, these are no exception. They're way more powdery than you might be used to. So when you put your brush in there, there's going to be kick up in the pan. That is because there are usually synthetic binders found in your conventional products that keep them a little bit more Loctite. But in turn, these are very, very blendable products. So I think they're quite easy to use. They're not as intimidating, though they are incredibly pigmented. And you will see that as I go through the line. So let's start off with the shade Vanilla. Vanilla is gorgeous. I can see this actually being used as a shade to set the under eyes. I have not tried that. You do have to have a fair complexion to do so, because Vanilla is this fantastic, highly pigmented bone shade. Creamy, soft matte that has just enough of pigment. It's not so pigmented where like, sometimes when I go in, like, so I did start off the eye look with this Vanilla shade. I just sort of hit it all over the lid. It's very similar to my skin tone. That's why I like shades like this, but it's a little bit more yellow. It's not a stark white, so I love that. So put that all over the lid, but sometimes when these are too pigmented, if you go to blend out the brow or you go to reshape that inner eye area after you've done some blending and dimension work, it can sort of erase what you did because it's too pigmented. This is not the case with that one. I think it is just the most delicious bone shade. I pop that in my 4-pan palette because I know I'm gonna use that all the time. In contrast to that, a very similar tone, but a very shimmering option. It is the option that I have here on my cheeks today. This is the shade Golden Hour, and Golden Hour is a high metallic champagne that's very, very yellow in tone. It's a really pale champagne tone. It does remind me quite a bit of the Lily Lolo highlight that is in their Sculpt and Glow duo. So if you're a fan of that, I mean, I think this is even more metallic. So this is on my cheeks today. I did hit the tops of the cheek with this. I did also include it in the inner corner of my eyes today, as well as a little bit on the brow. This makes a great all over lid shade if you want to do that, or again, highlight. I would only use this as a highlight if you have a more light complexion, just because it is quite fair in tone, but anyone could use this on their eyes. I think it is a gorgeous metallic eye shade. Moving right along, we've got our next shade. This one also lives in my 4-pan palette. This is the shade Forever Summer. And Forever Summer is a beautiful, again, really creamy, this one's super creamy, matte bronze shade. And this is a really nice one because it's quite light when you swatch it, but on the skin, especially used with like a nice big hardy synthetic brush, I went in with the Antonym number 2 today. It makes for a great bronzer. This tone really works on me. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, so you could do a little bit of bronzing, which is usually what I do here. I do a little bit of sculpting, but ultimately I want some warmth on my face, so I hit it on the temple, underneath the jawline as well. Then I took my blending brush and I actually started off the eye look with this. I think nothing easier to do an eye look than a highlight and a bronzer. It brings things forward, it sends things back, defines the crease of the eye, all of that good stuff. So I laid this down in the crease, got that initial shadow work going, and I like when you see similar colors used throughout the look, because I think it makes it look just very polished, and there's a lot of continuity, which I think just looks very, very appealing. So I went in with Sunkissed on the cheeks and the eyes, or I'm sorry, Forever Summer on the cheeks and the eyes. Moving right along, we have the shade Soft Brown. Soft Brown's a little bit deceiving in the pan. It looks a little bit warmer than its swatches. It does look like it has really faint shimmer in the pan as well, but it does not translate to the skin. But another really creamy matte option. This is actually quite cool tone, so this would have been really good to do the crease work that I mentioned. I just prefer something a little bit warmer, but if you like your cool tones or you like that really shadowy contour, this is going to be perfect for that because it's so cool tone. So again, a great one to use in the hollows of the cheeks as well as the crease of the eye. Perfect to start off any eye look. That is the shade Soft Brown. Then we have the shade Luxe Bronze, and this is another one of my favorites. This is the most amazing rich bronze going out look. This is one of their metallic finishes, and it just translates so beautifully on the skin because of that reflect. It really pulls strong metallic, and you could just do the most amazing smoky eye with a look like this. Even if you just did Soft Brown in the crease, a bit of this, boom, there's a deeper shade we'll get to you could even use, but you could use those two shades and have a full-on amazing eye look. It almost shifts like a reddish tone, which I think is fantastic year-round, but I think for fall time specifically, this is gorgeous. This was a really tough contender. I wish this palette had 5 slots because this one would live in there for me as well. Then we have the shade Mulberry Brown. I do like that they focus so much on these different browns because I think it adds a lot of dimension to a look and it's very easy to use. So Mulberry Brown is another beautiful creamy formula, the most rich and pigmented deep dark brown. This is one I could see people using in their brows. This is another one that I really just see being used on the eyes because it is just the perfect tone. So that is exactly what I did. I did take my Air Perez brush once I did all of that initial work, and I did just add more dimension here to the outer corner of my eye. You could do a faux liner with this, you could do your brows with this like I said, but it's a nice rich chocolatey brown, builds like a dream, but it's still very blendable. I do want to emphasize that about this formula. Creamy, creamy, and very blendable, and they're all very consistent, which I think is incredibly rare, especially as, you know, purples can be a little bit more difficult, more rich pigments can be a little bit more difficult, mattes can be more difficult. It's just really, really easy, and that is the perfect dark brown is basically what I'm trying to say. So let's keep it pushing. Then we have the shade Go. Go is another one that you would probably predominantly use as a blush, but this could be a really pretty eyeshadow shade. It is a fabulous, cool toned pink. This is like going to be a little bit of a tougher one. This one's going to look a little bit better on those with more cool skin tones. If you like that more Barbie sort of look. There was a MAC blush that I used all the time that this kind of reminds me of. I think it swatches even a little bit lighter than it may read in the pan. So definitely keep that in mind. And I will mention this later in the video again, but I always include swatch photos down below so you could see all of these up close and personal and not just as I'm talking about them. So moving right along, probably my favorite one in the entire lineup because it's a gorgeous blush and a beautiful eyeshadow is the shade Sunkissed. And Sunkissed, upon swatching, you might think it's a little bit too pale. It's clearly this really beautiful peach tone, but it adds for the most amazing warmth on both the cheeks and the eyes. So for the cheeks today, I did, after I put on my bronzer, after I put on my highlight, I went in with the Antonym No. 3 brush. Really just took my time building this product up. It layers beautifully. This one is out the gate, is not like full on color. I think just because it's a more pale tone, though it is pigmented. I'm not saying it's not. It's a little bit more time spent to build this product up and get it to the level of color that you want. It's a beautiful peachy tone, and if you have a light to medium skin tone, this would be a great blush. All right, yeah, so just to add some warmth, I did take Sunkissed on my fluffy brush, run that through my crease, and that is basically the look done. Put a little bit of winged liner, lashes, and by lashes I mean mascara. I'm not wearing full lashes, but you can see how easy that really is to achieve, and you can see I'm not putting in a lot of time or effort blending. They all just work together seamlessly, and I do love that about this product. I am familiar, but this is a new configuration I'm wearing today, which I really love. So let's keep it pushing as far as the swatches are concerned, and then we'll dive into that a little bit deeper. Next, we have the shade Cheerful, and Cheerful is a neon, very, very bright, hot, hot, hot pink. And I think this is actually really fun to have as an eyeshadow option because you never see this in green beauty specifically. Not really my type of color, nor on the cheeks, but it's a really good option should you like a bright pigmented number. I think if any of you are going to music festivals, things like that, that could be really, really cool. And again, a 2-in-1 situation. Moving along to the shade Buff. Buff is another kind of blush shade, but of course you can use it on your eyes. Buff is a really great everyday neutral option. It is a pink tone still, but it's just more of a soft everyday pink. Kind of reminds me of the Dior Rosy Glow. It just has that really healthy, easy, natural tone to it. I do also think this would be great for adding a little bit of warmth in the eyes. I've always over the years liked taking just a little bit of blush and doing something like that. So that is an option. All right, our final two shades, we do have the shade Violet Taupe. And Violet Taupe is exactly as the name would suggest. It's a really beautiful, cool tone taupey option, but it is quite purple. It's a really light, cool toned purple. Again, cool tone people are really gonna like this. I could see that looking really beautiful with that soft brown shade as well. A really pretty, very sculpted 90s sort of eye look. That would look great. And then finally we have the shade Lavender Plum, and Lavender Plum is another one of the metallic options, and it is a beautiful shimmering purple. I mean, I'm not even a purple girl. I am. I've gotten less so over the years, unfortunately, but this one is stunning. I mean, the metallics, they have done such a good job. I hope they release more of them because this is a predominantly matte formulated bunch, but the shift on this is amazing, and I think a lot of you guys are going to like it. That one does swatch a little bit lighter than it reads in the pan as well, and again, that's why I like to get on camera and physically swatch them here for you. So that is it, you guys. That is the new Fitglow multi-use pressed colors. Of course, want to mention that the formula is really consistent throughout. It's not like some of them are patchy and weird and some of them are not. They blend amazing and very much in line with the other Fitglow powders, if you are familiar with that. I think the palette they've released is fantastic and ingenious as well for those of you who like to have everything all in one place. But before I sign off here, you can always purchase a Z palette. We have Z palettes available on the website, so if you want one of every shade or you want to do it more like pro makeup artist style, mix and match with maybe some of your other products as well, customize your own palette without being in the parameters of that you know, only fits that one size, then check out Z palettes. They're available on the website in a bunch of different shapes, sizes. I am an enormous fan, but I think the recycled water bottle part is very, very cool on that as well. So, new from Fitglow Beauty, like I already mentioned, there's going to be a photo of every single shade swatched for you down below, so make sure that you check that out. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, shades that might work for you, you want to know my very favorites, definitely don't hesitate to drop me a line down below. And please do make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe, because I upload new videos here every single week and I don't want you guys to miss them. November is going to be a really exciting month. There might be like a lot of giveaways or something. I don't know. I don't make the rules here, guys. I just report on them, but the only way to know is to sign up to our newsletter and to check out our Instagram as well. So I'll make sure to include those. And if you want to see these used again in a look, maybe just sit down, do a talk through option, definitely let me know. I would love to bring that for you as well. But thank you all so much again for watching. Thank you so much for all of the consistent love and support, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye.